The next few photos will show you some results of global warming. But what is global warming? Global warming is the result of greenhouse gases being at high levels. Greenhouse gases are heat-retaining gases in the atmosphere that keep the atmosphere warm. They allow light to enter the atmosphere, but keep in some of the heat, but also release it to maintain the temperature of the atmosphere. The level at which greenhouse gases are at currently is higher than it ever has been in the last 650,000 years. Because of these extra gases, the Earth retains extra heat. The extra heat in the atmosphere is swirled around with the spinning motion of the Earth. Some of the heat stays in some places it had not before, and some rises where it did not used to. This changes the weather patterns that we are used to and confuses some animals. As National Geography states so well, while we struggle to figure out how to slow the warming and cope with the changes, the Earth as we know it is hanging in the balance. It's important to know about global warming because it is changing our planet and some of our lives faster than we realize. If we do not act fast, we might be too late, which could make our lives very difficult. Now, we're going to show you some causes of global warming. Well, the most abundant greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere are water vapor, which is H2O, carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, CH4, and nitrous oxide, N2O. All these gases are good for us in good proportion. Plants need carbon dioxide to survive. Water vapor is needed by all organisms to be able to survive, and methane and nitrous oxide helps in the world too. But when too much of these are present in the atmosphere, then it is bad for the Earth. Carbon dioxide is released by people and animals when they breathe, and when cars and trucks or anything burns fuel. When plants decompose, we get carbon dioxide when we burn fossil fuels and when land is cleared. Water vapor is in the air naturally for the water cycle, but having the Earth warmer, the water gets evaporated faster, meaning there's more water vapor in the air. Methane and nitrous oxide are released a lot during the digestion of food in animals and also from landfills. Fun facts. Termites can produce more than 150 million tons of methane a year. The current consequences of global warming is that the Earth is warming up a lot. In the last 100 years, the average temperature is 0.8 degrees Celsius warmer than it used to be. Because the Earth is warmer, glaciers and sea ice is melting faster than they used to. The water levels of the seas are getting higher because of all this extra water. Animals are being forced out of their natural regions because of heat or water levels. Some animals, like penguins, have seen a decline in their population numbers. Even the amount of precipitation, whether rain or snow, has increased across the globe. This means that areas get more rain, meaning erosion is worse, flooding is worse, and there are less sunny days. Because of the heat, an invasive species called spruce bark beetles have thrived because of 20 years of warmer summers and have already destroyed 40 million acres of spruce trees. According to the first study on how global warming affects humans, global warming was shown to kill about 300,000 people each year and affect 300 million people. Global warming also costs the world $125 billion a year. These numbers are expected to dramatically rise in the next 25 years. If global warming is not slowed down, terrible things can happen in the next 25 years, let alone 100. Sea levels are expected to rise 7 to 21 inches by the end of the century. Hurricanes and storms are expected to become stronger. Droughts and floods will become more common. Less fresh water will be available, and some animals will die and disappear. Global warming is expected to be responsible for over 500,000 deaths a year. Global warming also is expected to cost the world over $600 billion a year. Civil unrest also may be created because of weather-related events. At the moment, 4 billion people are vulnerable and 500 million people are at risk for weather-related events. Lots of species are being forced to change their ways. Birds nest earlier because spring is earlier, polar bears are skinnier, and corals are being damaged. Lots of people don't fully understand global warming and how important it is to slow, so we need to raise awareness for global warming. Some solutions to some of the problems we already have could be raising awareness, using renewable resources to power our homes and to create electricity for anything. Number 3, deforestation leads to release of carbon dioxide. So if we stop deforesting, that'll help, and it also will help with erosion. Cars release a lot of carbon dioxide, so we can reduce our use of our gasoline cars and use electric transit systems or electric cars. And finally, if we don't eat so much meat, because animals release a lot of methane, which is 21 times worse than carbon dioxide. In conclusion, global warming has a huge and negative impact on our lives and our planet, and we need to protect ourselves and others from definite struggles.